I don't know how to start this. I don't know where to go. Like, I don't know what direction to take this introduction, but here we are. I wanted to sit down and just keep you up to date as to what's been happening, like in a personal level and basically like behind the scenes. I feel like for the past couple of months, almost a year, I've been sharing a lot of my life with you, the good, the fun, the funny, and I also want to share with you the not so fun, the good, and the funny part, because life is life, you know? So that's the reason why I want to share. Also, I feel like I've been MIA a lot here and on Instagram, and it's kind of weird just to come back like a week or a week and a half later and be like, hey, what's up? Nothing happened, you know? And number 3 is that this is a topic that I want to give light to. It's such a taboo and not a lot of people like to talk about it, and here I am to kind of make society uncomfortable and talk about this. I do want to say that everything that I am going to be talking about is from my personal experience and what I've learned from my doctor. I am no like doctor, no nurse, I'm nothing of that sort. So if I say something that might be incorrect, or if you have more to add to whatever I say, go ahead, feel free to let me know down in the comments and kind of start a discussion. Also, by me filming this, I feel like it's helping me grieve, it's helping me to cope, it's helping me to pick myself up and keep pushing forward. Last Tuesday, I suffered my 4th miscarriage. It has been a journey to become a mom. It's hard, you know? And sometimes I think to myself, like, why is it hard? Why can't Susan from next door get pregnant so easily with 3 kids and I'm here struggling to have one? You know what I mean? My husband and I got married in 2017. He got deployed, he came back, and we decided to start trying. I got pregnant right away. I think like in the 2 months that we started trying, I got pregnant. That was really interesting because as soon as I found out that I was pregnant, maybe like 2 days later, I was miscarrying, and I didn't know exactly what was happening. All of this was so new to me because, you know, my mom got pregnant back to back. My brother and I are only like 13 months apart. So it never occurred to me that struggling to stay pregnant was a thing, right? Long story short, I ended up miscarrying my baby, went to the doctor. He really couldn't find like the reason because it happened so quickly. So he basically ruled it out as like it was just genetics, you know? Maybe there was one more extra chromosome, one more less chromosome, whatever it was. He said, get up, try again, you got this. I got pregnant again. This was like around like the holidays, around this time of the year, and everything was fine, everything was great. You know, I was here pushing 11-12 weeks. I was here feeling extra pregnant. I said, yay, I got this, we got this, we're having a rainbow baby. And one night, life had different plans. It didn't quite go that way. I ended up miscarrying my baby. I guess it was a miscarriage. So basically that means that my baby stopped growing at 8 weeks, 3 days, but my body didn't fully recognize it until I was 11 weeks. That was devastating. That was hard. That was really hard. I went to the doctor, and that's when he did a bunch of tests because he was kind of confused as to like why, you know? I feel like we were both confused and we both were like, what? They literally ran so many tests on me. They did a lot. They did endometriosis, PCOS, thyroid, the quality of my blood. They looked at my ovaries. They looked at my egg count. They looked at my egg quality. They looked at my fallopian tube. They looked at my whole uterus. Like, they did everything and anything, and everything came back negative. So, you know, we're like, okay, cool. Like, let's try again. I waited a year to try again, and we tried. We got pregnant literally like a year later. And And I lost my baby again at 8 weeks, 3 days. At that point, I was sad, of course, you know. But my main focus was, I'm gonna get a baby. Like, I'm gonna have a baby. I'm gonna get pregnant. Like, I didn't fully let my body heal itself in a way. I didn't let myself to heal. I didn't let myself to grieve as much. I was stubborn, and I was like, I want this to happen. I need it to happen now. You know what I mean? So again, they ran tests on me. They redid all the tests just to make sure that nothing changed within the year. And then they test my husband. They did genetic testing on him. Long story short, everything came back normal from both ends. So the doctor then referred me to a fertility specialist just to make sure that he wasn't missing anything, because at this point the doctor came to the conclusion that I'm having hormonal problems. Like, my hormone levels are not as high as like a normal pregnancy. Prior to the 9 weeks, your body is basically like producing progesterone left and right, because that is kind of like the placenta before the actual placenta. So because I kept miscarrying at 8 weeks, 3 days, the doctor was like, it's probably that. It's probably my body either not producing a lot, or my body is just thinking I'm ahead than what I really was, just because of the whole miscarriage in the second pregnancy. He told me that he was going to put me on the progesterone as soon as I got pregnant again, but still refer me to the specialist just to make sure that like there was nothing that he was missing. Went to the specialist, did all the same testing again, like the whole 9 yards, right? I hate needles, and now I've came to like the conclusion of like, if you need to poke me, just poke me, like do your thing, right? Like, that's literally how much blood drawn, testing, like everything that I've done through in the past 3 years. The specialist came back and said that everything was fine. Everything was good on my end. Everything was good on my husband's end. Everything was good on everybody's end. And she suggested to do IVF. Now, IVF, I was hesitant because I don't have problem getting pregnant. I have a problem staying pregnant. Talked to my doctor, and my doctor said that it isn't really necessary for me, because again, I can get pregnant. Like, I'm fertile myrtle, right? So that's basically where we're at. Like, I'm super fertile, I can get pregnant, but I'm not holding my pregnancy. So we waited again. My husband and I waited for like a year. We tried again, and I got pregnant. I found out that I was pregnant in September. I was happy, I was excited, but from the get-go, I knew, you know, like, to not get too happy, to not get too excited, because anything can happen. Everything was fine. Looking back now, like, the one thing that kind of like threw me off was that I was 2 weeks behind. Instead of going in at my 6-week appointment, because my doctor did see me earlier, I was measuring at 4 weeks when I should have been 6 weeks. So that was kind of like a red flag on my end, even on the doctor's end, you know. Like, he was just like, you know, your dates are probably wrong. And I thought so too, just because my cycle was changing like the month prior. So I was like, it could be that. So that was kind of like a, okay type of feeling, emotion, moment, you know. But everything was fine. The sac was growing, the fetal pool was growing, and then at 6 weeks, I went back to the doctor. Baby was growing, you know, everything was fine, everything was good, great. I was measuring on time prior to the last 2 appointments, so everything was great. And then last Tuesday, everything changed. I went to the restroom and I saw blood on the toilet, on the paper, and I just knew. My heart, once you've been through 3 of them, you know what to expect. So I knew, and my doctor saw me right away, and baby has stopped growing at 6 weeks. I was here thinking I was 7 weeks, you know. So that was annoying on so many levels. The feelings, the emotions I am experiencing right now is frustration, a bit angry, and just like annoyed and over it. Those are like the main 3. I'm frustrated because I can't find the solution. Like my doctor and I cannot find the solution. It's not only him. We went to a specialist and they also can't find the solution. Like there's just a lot of unanswered questions. Then the hopelessness comes into play because there's nothing in my power, in my will, that I can do to stop this from happening. You know what I mean? And it's just annoying. It's very annoying. So that's where I am right now emotionally. I'm just accepting of it, if you will. Like, I had a miscarriage. Okay, like, we've been here before. I know what's next. Let's go ahead and do it. And then we'll figure it out when I talk to my doctor in my follow-up appointment. And it's so sad, but that was literally my reaction to it. When you have a miscarriage, you get 3 options. One, you can miscarry yourself. Basically, you'll pass everything at home. 2, you get a pill, and that pill they stick it in there, like right in your vagina. It basically triggers your miscarriage. The 3rd option is a D&C, and that is where you basically go under, they dilate you, they remove everything and clean everything out, suck it out, and you're good. I opt for all 4 of them. I opt the surgery because 1, I can't imagine being home, especially with my husband's schedule. So being home alone, going through all of that emotions, plus like the cramping, the bleeding, and all of that, like I couldn't handle it. So the first 2 options didn't work for me. It works for other people, but not for me. And the surgery is literally the one that I've always opted for. It is not as painful as I expected it to be. So they basically, what they did to me was they put me under. I was under anesthesia and all of that. Only lasts like half an hour to 45 minutes. It's pretty quickly, to be honest, and recovery is easy. You can't obviously lift heavy things. You kind of feel like you're on your period cramp wise and blood flow wise. You still have blood, you still have small little blood clots, like if you're on your period, but nothing too major, nothing too scary. It takes to fully recover, about like 2 weeks. They will give you like pain medication just if the cramping gets too much for you. They gave me pain medication and I did take it. I picked that, and to me it was just like, I'm done with it. I'm over it. We'll close this chapter. Not even. We close this page. Let's move over, turn the page to what we're gonna do to solve this issue. So that's basically where I'm at. I do have a follow-up appointment with my doctor in a couple weeks. So right now it's just a waiting game, and it's a lot of healing. And yeah, if you're going through a miscarriage, if you're having trouble getting pregnant or staying pregnant, if your journey isn't the easiest journey ever, I'm with you, I see you, and I get you. I feel like society doesn't really like to talk about miscarriage, and I don't know why. I wish it was so open and so like a common topic to talk about, but it's not. It really isn't, and honestly, truly, it sucks that it's not. Because when I had my first, like the first or the second miscarriage, like I learned so much from my doctor, and also like I had to do research to get like the full 411, the full information, because nobody likes to talk about it, which is why I'm here and I'm filming this video, because I want to shine light to it. It's just crazy how much of a taboo this whole topic is, because honestly, 1 in 4 women, if I'm not mistaken, has or suffer a miscarriage, and that's so common. Like I'm one of those 4 people. Wild that this isn't a common thing. Like the topic isn't a common topic, but here we are. Being that it is so common and not a common topic to talk about, you know, it's sad, because I understand that people don't like to share because they feel sad, they feel embarrassed, they feel powerless. Like I understand that, because I felt the same way. This is actually the first time that I shared my miscarriage on my Instagram, and like the amount of people that reached out, the amount of people who reach out personally to me and tell me that they suffer it, was 1, so comforting because I'm not alone, but 2, so shocking that like it's so common. I mean, hello, it's proven again, 1 in 4 women suffers from it. So it was a lot, but at the same time it was comforting, you know. And that was literally like the reason why I wanted to sit down and like also film this type of video for my YouTube channel, because again, not everybody who follows me on here follow me on Instagram. And you know, I want to reach out to you, and like, if you're going through it, again, you're not alone. That's basically where I've been. I don't know what the future holds. All I know is that my journey is different. After my first miscarriage, my doctor told me something along the lines of, your journey is a bit longer, it's a bit unique and different, but that doesn't make you less of a woman. It just makes your experience different and unique. And I love that, because it's true. Every pregnancy journey is different. That's what I kind of hold on to. And also like my faith in God, that is literally what's holding me from drowning. Because some days are good and some days are horrible. Some days I'm fine and I'm just pushing through life like nothing happened, you know, if you will. And other days, literally I'm curled up in a blanket on the couch just watching TV and not even lifting a finger all day. For me personally, what's been helping me is therapy. I've been going to therapy for almost a year, and it's literally been helping me out so much. It literally prepared me for the next time that I got pregnant, like prepare for the worst. And I think that's why I'm also so like, you know, like, rather than the hot mess I was like the last 3 times. Find somebody to talk to, either a close friend, a friend that you trust, a family member that you trust, or find a support group. I also go to a support group from time to time. Here in San Diego, it's called Empty Cradle. If you're from the area, I'll go ahead and link their website down below. I've been through it a couple times, and it makes me feel so loved, and it doesn't make me feel so alone, because we all lost our babies either early in pregnancy or late in pregnancy. They're the best. And if you're not from San Diego, do your research, talk to your doctor. Your doctor can definitely refer you to like a support group or something. Find somebody to talk to. Like, it will make it so much less lonely. And also, if you know you have a spouse, a husband, they also have support groups for them as well. I think I covered everything that I wanted to. If you have any questions, if you want to share your thoughts, your experience, go ahead and leave it down in the comment section, and let's start a discussion. Let me also just tell you a quick experience. So when I lost my baby, I think it was my second pregnancy, I was part of an app, and at this point in time, I was still pregnant, my baby was fine, and people were saying or sharing their thoughts, you know, like, hey, you know, unfortunately I'm out. And this lady, person, she basically said something along the lines of like, I can't believe people have to share their sorrows here. This is a happy place, like not everybody suffers a miscarriage. Don't be that person. Don't. You know, people like her reminded me that like, now I know why people don't talk about this. Now I know why people like rather just suffer by themselves. Like, you are blessed, girl, if you haven't suffered. Good for you. I'm happy for you. But don't make it seem like the people who have miscarried are like worthless and trash, because they're not. Please don't be like that person in the comments. We don't need that. There's a lot of negativity going on around in the world. There's a lot of sadness. There's a lot of anger. Like, we don't need that here. So that's the only thing I do want to let people know. Just keep the convo and keep the comments nice, friendly, loving, and all of that. That's about it. I don't know if I'm forgetting anything, but if I do forget something, I'll go ahead and drop it down on the description box. Just remember, you're not alone.